Hello guys, welcome back to my channel again. I'm the Rammer Tanker, and today we're not going to talk about the event. We are going to talk about the bundle today. I like to do videos about the bundle tanks. The unstoppable friends, that is the Progetto 46 and the Somua SM. So we're going to talk about these two tanks. So we're going to review them using this very powerful site called Blitzstars that can make you do some sites, some comparisons with the tanks, etc. And we are going to start with the. Let me just close this. I don't want to do free advertisement. Let's start with some tanks, shall we? That can be compared to the Progetto. These are my choices for the comparison. Progetto 46. Progetto 46 is a very powerful medium tank. I think it's the best rate medium tank from for every single one. It doesn't have the Pantera DPM, but it's calculated by this only. And Pantera actually doesn't have the same thing about the Progetto. The good thing about the Progetto is you can basically unload everything and use this as shots because these shells will reload significantly longer because it's 5 seconds plus 2.5 seconds, and it's not good, you know. And this one is not counted with the 3 seconds, so you basically have to shoot only with the last shots. You can't say the same thing as the Pantera because the Pantera reloads faster with their shots and slower if you actually use this one. But as you see, Pantera has a much better AP penetration than Progetto, but Progetto has better alpha damage, slower ammo. Why including the Borrasca and the Defender? Because in the competitive spectrum, these are the medium tanks that you're going to see at your rate. Both very powerful. Borask, very powerful medium tank. More like a light tank. Borask, not play. No, he's not played like Progetto and Defender. This is more like a light tank. But as you see, Progetto is basically the best gun, the best dispersions values, and even as the second best depression angle, depression and depression, and it's very fast. It goes like very similar to the Borask, but doesn't have the Borask camo that makes Borask do the light tank job. And what we're going to see here, we're going to see a very powerful medium tank in my hand because the gun is good. It has good alpha. It has not the best penetration, but it has auto reloader. That those two doesn't have auto reloader. It shoots fast. It has a 90 mm gun, same as this, but this has 225. I don't know why. Good aiming, and good dispersion. Good moving dispersion. Only works to the Borask, actually here. And the gun depression is very nice, 9 degree. The speed wise is similar to the Borask, having a much more flexible gun than the Borask, and it does a nice fair amount of credits. This is the Progetto 46. Progetto 46 is a very powerful medium tank. How I equip Progetto and why? Uh, this is mandatory for the X penetration. You could use this, but I still suggest more this, even though you get only 9 penetration more here. You could use Vents. We're gonna try it with Vents. Because you gain these 5 meters, you gain this DPM to actually lower you gain dispersion, you gain terrain risk. Here, ammo rack, because this tank is super fragile. Upgrade optics, of course, you're a medium tank. Here you can choose both. I prefer this one, as always. Here, of course, HP, because armor is not the greatest thing about this tank. Of course, the engine, because this tank turns really fast. and you can go very fast. Vista because you're a medium tank. Toolbox because it helps to repair everything faster. And the consumable delivery system here depends on what you prefer. We're going, of course, to try a regular one to see how powerful the Progetto 46 is. Why I suggest you Progetto 46 more than Somua? Somua is another very nice heavy tank here, French heavy tank with armor. But the thing that Somua doesn't have, Somua isn't as flexible as Progetto 46. Progetto 46 for being a medium tank is very flexible, it can do lots of things, and it's very powerful. On the other hand, Somua has better armor than the IMX 5100, but there are tanks that are far better, I think. Like the Yo tank, the M3 Yo and the Scepter are much more powerful tanks in my opinion. Because they have like they have the nice armor, and plus they have the very nice penetration that they get from, you know, being having hit shells. So now I'm trying to cap a base, maybe try to spot something here, but of course I can't. It is a camping T54. We still don't know why. But instead of pushing randomly the T54, I'm going to snipe a bit the TDs. Didn't close all. My mistake here, sorry. And as you see, the accuracy is not bad at all. The accuracy is not bad at all. If you can, oh, of course it's a bounce. Yeah, it's a bounce, guys. And I could try to, you know, use a bit of my firepower to help the heavy tanks here. Even though, I think this isn't the pretty greatest idea. Okay, nice 277. But though, as far as I know, there is an IS-3 aiming at me. Of course, you can't trust the armor on this thing. Okay, but we killed one of them. Perfect. Now we are not going to hunt, of course, the heavies, but we're going to hunt smaller preys, like this T-54. Look how much damage this tank can do. And after this, you have the nice DPM that the Progetto has. Of course, we're not going to hunt the heavies, but we can try to use this thing to actually do. Okay. Okay, now we are going to reload this last shot. Of course, bounce it. Now hoping to get a nice roll. Very good. Now we're going to, you know, do basic medium stuff. But I'm going to unload on the ISU. Probably this one. Easier just for us. Okay, better. Okay, shoot at once. Okay, see how fast this tank turns. And 2,900 damage. Like that. You just have to play like a basic medium tank with this. You don't have to... Of course, you don't have the armor that some other mediums tank have, like the Defender. But the gun is really awesome. Like, the gun is really awesome. You can do basically whatever you want. I really suggest this medium tank. Here, of course, I'm not going to do the full review of the Progetto 46. But, for me, Progetto 46, if you want a very flexible gun on a fast hull and not badly armored turret. Of course, you don't have to trust the turret armor, don't have to trust the armor at all on this. But sometimes you can get bounces. This tank is perfect. This tank, I think, if you want Borask or Progetto, because these are the two mediums that are, of course, the most broken in the game. The choice is that you're a good player, you play passively, you want to sneak around and do 700 damage in 2.5 seconds, play Borask. Borask, you need much better map knowledge, push knowledge, and every single type of knowledge you need to actually make this perform similar to the Progetto. Progetto, you don't need all of that. You're a medium tank. You you have a nice gun. You don't have this annoying 20-second reload. You have this very powerful, very flexible 90 millimeter gun. And I strongly recommend Progetto. Progetto is a very powerful tank. Really, it's a very powerful tank. And we are going to do review even on these ones. But damn, Progetto is very powerful. I recommend it. It's a very flexible medium. You can do lots of things in it. You don't have any troubles. The only trouble you have is when you play it too aggressively and you get insta killed. It's all Italian mediums, even Carro and Progetto 65. But if you are a bit of a patient, you sneak out, shoot one, wait to the reload, maybe to actually do the max damage like I was trying to do with the shark. This is probably the best. Probably even better than the Bisonte. This tank is such powerful. It's very powerful. Now going to the Somua. What's Somua? Somua is a French heavy tank that has a nice chunk of armor and plays similarly to the not to the IMX 5100 but to the Yo tanks. And as I told you before, probably there are much better tanks than the. Of course, sorry, the Somua. First of all, the Somua. First, I think there are much better tanks than the Somua here on the, of course, on the game. Let me just pick up the Yos and the DT, this powerful base DT 77, and we can try even the Yo. But the Yo is no, we don't try the Yo. We just put the chapter for the meme. No, we're just going to do it like this. Okay, delete everything here because maybe I agree with them differently. Okay, here we go. As you see, Somua is the worst DPM at all. The worst DPM, but DPM is not even, it's a auto reloader, and for being an auto reloader, it has even the worst shell burst. It has like how much is shell burst on this? 2.7, I think, or 3 second shell reload time. You have the AMX 5100 that has 3 seconds. The Emir 3 seconds. And then you go to the American, the Yo, and you get 2.7. 2.7. 2.7. That is much better when you have to unload because you stay out. This is just 2.5. So this can dump much higher damage than the others because this can do 700, like near to 800, 780, 760. But yeah, they can do 930, but much slower than this. And as you see, Somua has the worst reload, but this really doesn't matter because you have an auto reloader. This doesn't matter. The reload time doesn't matter on auto reloaders. Well, but why you say Yo is better? Because you pick up this, you pick up this, you pick up this, and Yo goes to 278 with each shells that penetrates much better. They penetrate worsely, but they penetrate much better things than APCR. Even though I still prefer APCR because they are a bit faster, and 99% of the times, and APCR penetrates based armor, but they lose the normalization, so they lose lots of penetration. Like for example, the T77 has normal APCR. but still goes fast like these APs. So it really depends on the game. But usually APC are faster. So the reload we see doesn't matter. The caliber is very similar. So the guns are very similar. The thing is that the Yo just unloads faster and has better APCR pen, even though Somo has better normal pen. And this is not something to avoid talking about because if you are an if you are all of these, if you are not pay to win and you don't want to lose a lot of credits and premiums, probably they are all the same. Mm, Only the Emil struggles a bit with penetration, but even with premium, Emil struggles. Emil really doesn't have good penetration, but it has very good armor, indeed, on the turret. Accuracy wise, Soma is fucking horrible. Accuracy wise, Soma is so trash that if we pick up the Italian, that has a very horrible dispersion, it's similar. It's it's technically even better than the Soma. So to talk about a fucking horrible is the dispersion on the Soma. It's really bad. It's one of the worst points on the Soma, and even the Emil has a better dispersion because it has, of course, better aim time. Even all of them have better dispersion. If you pick up the this thing, the V stab, the Emil 9051 and the MX will still have better dispersion than you. And this is not a thing to not talk about because this thing really sucks. And if you combine this very horrible dispersion with this, it's very you can reach 3.67 like an E100 dispersion. But you're not an E100, you carry a 100 millimeter gun. If you put like this is 3.4, this is 3.3, and this is 3.6. But yeah, this is like better. This is probably near 3.7. This is just a little bit near 3.6. And if you pick up this, it really improves. And of course, this has better aiming time. So accuracy wise, is the worst and the worst. Speed wise, it's slow. It's very slow. It's not like a basic French tank. It's kind of slow. Yo is faster, even though here is not fast. Yo is faster. Yo has better terrain resistance here. Not here, but Yo is faster. And Yo turns. I think that turns faster. No, that doesn't. Maybe with the equipments. T77 is faster. The only slower wise is actually the Emil, but Emil is a really good armor. View range is not good. HP is nice. 70 tons, 17 tons French heavy tank, and not a bad armor. We're going to see, but with the armor, we have actually to talk about it a little bit. Of course, a little bit more is than the Italian because the Progetto 46 really doesn't have armor. So we are here. Where is this someone? Here is this someone. You see, tier 7, very good stuff. You very difficult to get penetrated. Tier 8 actually starts, and Tier 9 will blast through your armor like nothing happened before. So the upper plate is like this, 249, 250. If you try to angle that, I think I actually you can try to do side scraping, but don't really trust the armor on this. You can try to do a side scraping thing, but it can work. It can't. This the lower glass is very fragile, but if someone does like a face hug, it will aim the gun down and it get 240. So even heavy tanks can penetrate with you with AP, unless of course you use the gun depression that has 10 degrees and really helps this tank a lot. Here of course you have this part that can be a weak spot, but the worst weak spot about this tank is actually his giant cupola and this part. This part is all the weak spot of the tank. Even if you higher up this is a weak spot. The only thing that you can try to hide it a bit is using your gun depression that actually hides it. Even this part can be a weak spot, and the cupola is a weak spot. So armor-wise, is much better than the French IMX 5100, but is not comparable to, for example, the Yo tank. Whereas the Yo tank that has a very nice turret armor, probably not better hull armor because the hull armor on the Yo is very paper. But look at this. Look at this. Much better turret armor here. You can bounce lots of things and you can actually use the turret. Same thing with the ML. Same thing with the ML. You have much more usable armor than the someone. Someone is as similar speed. So we're going to try out even the Somua, and I'm gonna, as always, put the reasons why I made this equipment build. First choice because it's useless defense here. You're an auto reloader, you don't need DPM. You need actually to bump up shots. And this makes you bump up shots much better because you have these 244 nice penetration. Here, this one, of course, because it protects your ammo rack. This one because you're a heavy tank, you don't camp in this. You can't camp in this. Here because, as you see, I won't really try to lower the aiming circle instead of the dispersion, instead of the speed shell, because shells are fast. But you can actually even use that one. I won't complain about it. Armor, as you see, to make the upper hull of the armor actually very useful. Here you can choose. I think I'll go with this, even though this tank is kind of sluggish when it's 2-turn. Stab, V-stab, as I told you, this dispersion movement is fucking horrible. And you don't need this. I really don't need this. And you don't camp, you just go in the move and you bump shots. You have a nice penetration, so you don't really need always to aim at weak spots. Toolbox as always, and this as always meets my configuration. Let's go with the Somua. If I don't pronounce it correctly, it's not. You can tell me in the chat how to pronounce it. Somua. I will call it Somua. So as you see, this tank isn't really fast. Tiger 2 can actually follow us. Tiger 2 actually can reach our speed. But I would like to let you see the gun depression on this and the potential, the armor that this tank has. This tank, I think this tank is really worth it from the French heavy tanks. It's one of the best French heavy tanks in the game, in my opinion. You see, here he is, KV4, APCR. You straight pan him. The only problem with this is it's horrible accuracy. As you see, when the turret turns, you really, if it, look how dispersion is very bad when you're moving. When you're moving, dispersion is very bad. Even when you're moving the turret, dispersion is very bad. It's very bad, and this is the biggest problem of this tank. This tank has a very bad dispersion when you're actually moving it. To actually, try to aim somebody else. And it's not like it's a Tech 3 counterpart that has actually a nice dispersion movement. 0.16 is actually very nice. You're all shot because I didn't know where. As you see, he penetrates me like butter because there is that dammit cupola as I told you about before. And this is the weak spot about the tank, that cupola, that is very huge and very easy to penetrate. But I need the gun depression to actually not be penetrated in the hull. But as you see, the dispersion when you're moving in this tank, it's really horrible. It really sucks, and it's the worst thing about this tank. It's really literally the worst thing about this tank. You can say speed-wise, armor-wise, no, the worst thing is the dispersion value about this tank. It's very horrible. It really sucks. And thinking that Yo has better dispersion, it's kind of meme, because Yo has better armor, not in the hull, of course, but it has overall actually more usable armor, and it got better dispersion than this. But as you see, when you're not exposing the turret, this tumor, You can actually bounce something. You can bounce shots. But you're not exposing the tumor, of course. That is really big in this tank. Even the lower classes is a weak point, but lower class is very low and it can be easily hideable. Not like this giant pull-up that is very big, of course. Okay. Let me reload for the last round. Probably not the most interesting battle with the Somua, but this summarizes how Somua dispersion is bad. If you expect something very accurate, don't grab this Somua. Frag shot. Frag shot. Frag shot. Good. Never do like he does, or what he does. Always actually try to point the your hull as frontally as possible, because really perma-tracked by a Soma is very painful. Another nice battle with the Soma, 2800 damage. So as you see, these tanks can perform. Of course, it's the first battles because it is a 26-minute video to talk about. So in the to summarize about the three bundles. Together, Unstoppable Friends depends because only depends because of the Soma. But you get even the legendary for the Progetto 46. You get even the legendary camos. So it's like 10,000 pound, 10,000 gold each for this. It really depends because Soma is kind of frustrating, but is not a bad tank at all. Progetto is very worth it. Progetto is the best tier 8 medium tank. But Somua, let's take the things like this. If you like a nice armored heavy tank with bad dispersion autoloader with a huge tumor in its turret, if you like this Somua, this is the best bundle. If you don't like this Somua and you say, well, I'm gonna get this Somua for 500 gold, for 5,000 gold, just don't. Use the 5,000 gold on this instead. Put the best camo, the best attachment, and you will have much enjoy more the Progetto 46. Or you can use it for this tank. This review will be super. This bundle is really good. This bundle is really good. So guys, this is the video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed my review on these two tanks, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.